is your favorite class to teach? Is it AV or photography?
Good question. I like them both for different reasons. Photography is great because I have specific lessons that I follow every day, and I put a lot of thought into those lessons, so there's a flow to it. And I like the creative work that students do. Very good photographs are made here. Video is an entirely different kind of class to teach. There's a lot more freedom. It takes a lot longer to complete a project, and there's so many students are doing different things at different times, so it's a little bit more chaotic. But there's nothing like a good video festival, and that's what we look for.
How many classes of each do you have, and how many students generally?
Well, that's a great question. People might be surprised to know that I teach 4 photography classes because they're AB day classes. So there's roughly, let's see, 25, 50, maybe there's 80 photography students, and this semester is 1 video class, so there's 25 in the video class.
What do you think about Northampton High in general, just for all the classes, not just specifically photography and AV?
Right. I think it's a great school. I really do. I love the school. There's a tremendous amount of resource here. The building is fantastic, renovated building. The teachers are great. I think that there's always room for improvement. Some of the things that we're working on now are advisee type classes where we actually get to know students a little bit better on an individual basis. But in general, this is a great school, and you can pretty much do anything you want to here.
Yeah. And back to AV, is the budget for AV sort of sound, or do you feel that AV would function better if it had a better budget or a bigger budget?
Well, that's another good question. Unfortunately, the budget crisis has hit, and each year we lose money. So we're pretty much running an AV program on a bare bones budget, and that's not good. I have to do fundraising. Some of the equipment I can buy myself, which is not a good thing for a teacher to have to do. It's too bad there isn't more money to fund these kinds of programs. All the computers in this particular classroom were donated. So there isn't enough money to really do the kind of things we want to do anymore, and that's becoming a big issue for schools all over the country. How do you do, more with less? And that's what teachers are being asked to do.
And in AV, is there a favorite video that a student has ever done?
Oh, sure, yeah. There's one that stands out in my mind. That's the hallway racing video. That was a video where 5 students did stop-motion animation of themselves scooting around the school on their butts. And I thought it seemed kind of silly at first, but after I saw about 1,500 frames of the shot, I realized they were onto something. And the funny part of the story is, like I explained before, AV is different from photography because it takes a lot longer to do things. And these guys worked for 3 weeks on this particular project, and then they wanted an extension. They wanted to do more. They said they weren't done. So I gave them the extension because the project was so good. When they finished it, it won first prize at Williston School, and the principal loved it, we all loved it, and we still watch it all the time. So it could be shown on children's television.
And one last question. Do students from AV classes here at NHS ever go to college to study something like filmmaking?
Oh, sure. Several do. We've had students that are actually filming the Olympics from this high school. You don't often know where students wind up, but a lot of them wind up in New York City at film schools. Boston has several schools, and I write recommendations for students to go into filmmaking in Boston. It's one of the sort of underrepresented or unthought about types of careers. I mean, often we hear about excelling in, the academics, but we often don't hear about how important film and photography really is, and these are careers that people follow.
All right, well, thank you for your time, and we will have this video to show you later.
Very, very welcome. You're good students. Thanks.